My name is Neal and I'm the Recruitment Manager for the Essex MBA programme here at the University of Essex. The Essex MBA is our flagship Management Masters programme. It's unlike any other Masters course here at the University of Essex. It's what we would describe as a generalist MBA, meaning it's not aiming to make you a specialist in any specific area of business. Instead, it's aiming to introduce you to all the different core functional areas of a business and helping you to understand how they can work together to achieve your organisation's goals. So, as a future senior manager, leader, or even business owner, you can make the most effective use of each of those functions and achieve those goals. The Essex MBA is accredited by AMBA, that's the Association of MBAs. You can think of that as the gold standard of MBA programmes around the world, and indeed AMBA only accredit what they believe to be the top 2% of business schools offering MBA programmes. So it is a really strong quality marker and you know you'll be among good company. But sometimes AMBA and other accreditations as well can make MBAs all look a bit similar to each other. For example, if you look at module lists on several different MBAs, you might think they're all the same. But actually MBAs can be very, very different. To choose the right MBA for you, you need to look beyond those initial facts and figures about an MBA and really understand, how does that business school approach business generally? How does it approach the MBA specifically? What do they believe in? And then try to decide, is that something you believe in too? That is the way you'll find the right MBA programme for you. To help you decide if the Essex MBA is the right one for you, let me tell you about our pillars, the things that we believe make the Essex MBA unique. The first is our focus on sustainable and responsible business, and this really goes to the heart of what we believe in as a business school. We have a passion to do business responsibly and perhaps to do it a bit differently to how it's been done before, all for the good, hopefully, of the planet and society, not just a focus on making profits for that organisation. So you'll see this embedded into several different aspects of the MBA. For example, our module in Sustainable Operations Management. A module you'd find on many different MBA programmes is a practical subject like operations management, but focus more specifically on how you can do that sustainably. Hopefully, during your time on the MBA, you'll have a chance to look at your own passions around sustainable and responsible business and understand how you can do things that are good for the society, good for the planet, as well as good for your own organisation. Our second pillar is our focus on innovation and entrepreneurship. And if you're thinking of starting your own business in the future, it's probably obvious where this focus on entrepreneurship comes in, but it's relevant to everybody. We believe in looking at both entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship, with intrapreneurship being the ability to think in an entrepreneurial way, whatever it is you might be doing in business, and not necessarily just working for yourself and running a business. Entrepreneurs often have a willingness to take risks, they often make decisions very quickly, they often finance their business in new and novel ways, and we believe all of those things could make any business more successful. The final pillar of the Essex MBA is a little bit more about you and developing your individual skills. This is our focus on making you an impactful leader. I'm sure you'll agree from your time in business so far that there can be a big difference between being a manager and being a true leader. You might do what a manager tells you to do simply because you feel you have to, because they pay their wages or because you're in charge. And that's very different from really feeling inspired by a leader and wanting to follow them, believing in what they're doing and going along for that journey with them. Most people come onto an MBA with some gaps in their practical management skills, and we can certainly help you to address those gaps, but we then want to go to the next level. So not just fixing those gaps in practical management skills, but taking you to the next level where you become an impactful and inspiring leader. And hopefully that will fit in with both of our first two pillars as well. So when you're out there leading and inspiring, you can do it in such a way that is also good for society, that is also good for the planet, and that also celebrates your entrepreneurial or intrapreneurial mindset. The MBA is a programme for existing business professionals, and therefore it has a very different set of entry requirements compared to most master's programmes. Firstly, and most importantly, you will need good professional work experience to date. That needs to be an absolute minimum of 3 years of good quality, relevant professional work experience after graduating from your undergraduate degree. You should show within that work experience evidence that you have managed either people, projects or budgets, or evidence that you've had good career progression, or alternatively that you've been involved in significant activities outside of your work, perhaps entrepreneurial or community focused activities. So make sure you talk about all of that in your application. To be a standard applicant, you'll also need the equivalent of a UK 2-2 undergraduate degree in any subject, but you can also apply as a non-standard applicant as well, meaning you don't have that degree, however you do have the work experience, and in this case it will actually be a slightly higher threshold for the work experience. You will need 5 years of work experience and it will have to be managerial. Finally, if English is not your first language, we also will require our English language requirements to be met. This will be the IELTS of 6.5 overall with a minimum of 6.0 in each individual component part. We also accept a much wider range of qualifications and we would look to the equivalent level to those, and you can view more of the qualifications we accept on our website. You can apply for the Essex MBA programme using our online application form and we don't charge a fee to apply. You'll need to provide details of everything you've done to date. So on the academic side, that will need to include certificates and transcripts, and on the work experience side, we'll expect a very detailed CV showing the details of all of your work experience to date. That should include the title, the company you've worked for, the dates of employment, and also your main roles and responsibilities. You'll also need a personal statement to apply for the MBA programme, and that should be specific to the Essex MBA. Tell us why this programme is the right one for you, why your work experience is relevant, and what you're hoping to do with your Essex MBA in the future. You'll upload those documents as part of your application. You will also need to provide 2 references, which is usually an academic reference and a professional reference, but you can do that later on during the process if you want to. After you have applied, we will assess your application and carry out an individual work experience assessment, as well as checking those documents I've mentioned. If we're happy with all of that, we will then invite you to book an interview. This can be booked online using our online booking system on a time and date that is convenient for you. During your interview, you will then meet a member of the MBA recruitment team and we'll have lots of questions for you. We'll be asking you more about your background, we'll be asking you what you hope to achieve from your MBA, and we'll be asking you why you chose to apply to Essex. There's lots more information on our website to help you prepare for your Essex MBA interview. If you're successful after interview, we'll of course let you know the outcome and we'll follow that up with your formal offer letter. If you're self-funding your MBA studies, then you may be eligible for the Essex MBA Dean's Award Scholarship. You don't need to make a separate application for that. We will automatically assess you as part of the application process, including, most importantly, the interview.